Well, hello and welcome to episode 42. First of all, I want to apologize to all the throngs of the one or two people that are tuning in regarding the wobble in my videos. I think I fixed the issue so the two of you won't see the video teetering anymore, hopefully. So when I see these ads for cruise ships on TV and you look at the size of these ships today, they look like cities. They're absolute monstrosities. And being that my wife is fully aware of this since she's a travel agent, she told me that since she's been on several cruise ships since they invite her to tour these ships, that the Oasis of the Seas has a central park. So I asked her if they also had a subway system on the ship. I mean, these cruise ships today should have their own zip code. As an example, the Wonder of the Seas cruise ship is 1,200 feet in length across 18 decks and can accommodate 5,734 passengers and up to a maximum capacity of almost 7,000 passengers, as well as a crew of 2,300. And lastly, there are 16 decks for guest use, 20 restaurants, 4 pools, 2,867 cabins. And the last time I was on a cruise ship about 15 years ago, as we were boarding the ship, my wife refused the cocktail, which surprised me. And as they offered me the cocktail, I naturally took it. And she turned to me and said, "Don't take it. It's probably $15. I thought it was free, but she was right. It was $12. Now, why wouldn't they tell you that up front? And now I know this guy that we ran into on the ship smuggled his own beer into the ship. Don't ask me why he would go through all the trouble to do this, but he was actually just being frugal and he had a family. This was an actual email that I sent to some fellow employees about 10 or 12 years ago, as a joke, of course. And I will tell you what happened when I complete the reading, and here goes. Since we still find some people from the 6th floor roaming around on the 17th floor, effectively immediately you must now provide written permission to be allowed on our floor. After requesting permission to visit our floor, we anticipate responding within 5 to 7 business days. Please include reason for visit, and if we find over a certain period of time that you're not providing a legitimate reason for coming to the 17th floor, we may have to close it off permanently to everyone on the 6th floor. We appreciate all of your work on the 6th floor and are aware of the ever diminishing air quality on your floor as tests are being done to measure industrial air pollution, dust, fungal spores, microorganisms. I got a little carried away as usual, other contaminants, including radon and radiation. We will keep you abreast of the test results. Keep up your good work and your spirits and let us know if you need anything. And as an aside, honestly, people were actually becoming ill from the work that was being done on the 6th floor at the time. Now, most of the people that I included on the email knew that I was a practical joker at times, but one guy actually came up to our floor, walked over to my desk and asked me, "Are you serious?" I don't recall what I said and how long it took me to react, but I was stunned. I was like, "What? You think I was serious?" I couldn't believe that he thought I was being sincere. But we laughed it off, and I told him, "Don't take much I say or do very seriously." By the way, my ship came in today, but it was an oil tanker that didn't accept any passengers. The question has a tendency to come up every now and then, and who was the most talented person that ever lived? It's not an easy question to answer. There's always Leonardo da Vinci, naturally, and Hedy Lamarr, Isaac Asimov, Aristotle, Paul Robeson, Benjamin Franklin, Albert Schweitzer. But there's one person that I would include in this very rarefied clique or in crowd, and it's Buster Keaton. He was not as well-rounded and diverse as the people I just mentioned, but what he did in cinema as a filmmaker, actor, stuntman, and comedian is, for lack of a better term, phenomenal. His incredible, outrageous stunts were all very real. There was no special effects back then, and there were no stunt doubles, no safety gear, and no green screens. Everything was live and real, and many of his stunts were considered to be death-defying. He was injured several times, but it never stopped him from getting back to his stunts. I still love watching his movies, which are now nearly 100 years old, and there are some critics to consider The General to be one of the best movies of all time, despite being from the year 1927. I've seen it several times, and it is a masterpiece despite its age. And though I don't always trust online searches, one site claimed that he was in 140 different movies over a 70-year lifetime, and that he directed 27 different movies, most of which were probably in the silent era. Without a doubt, a remarkable man. And by the way, I will end with this. If you haven't seen the movie Green Book, I suggest that you do. It's a superb movie, and I will stop here.